I'm not taking that.
Oh, you just power through. You're that guy.
I don't like a lot of like medicines and shit. They freak me out, like pills, all that stuff.
Interesting. So what if you get really sick? You just ride that fucker out?
If I'm like super duper sick, then I'll kind of yield and take like a little something. But even then, yeah, I like to, what I would do if I get like a fever, I'll take a really hot bath and I spike my fever. That way, because then
old school.
The fever is what like is your immune reaction. It's good,
dude. I like that you go. You put leeches on and just suck your blood out. You go old school.
Dude,
colonial
that was
medicine.
a treatment for cancer. They
Leeches.
were giving fevers. They were spiking fevers,
Interesting.
and it kills like cancer cells. Like it fever.
Today, you're gonna watch the game though today, right? Like,
no,
you don't even give a fuck. You're not like glued to it at all.
Not at all.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What are you, Eagles or any
like
sports?
The Eagles too. I don't care about sports. My dad never watched sports growing up, so I never.
Interesting.
Watched it.
Shane is a maniac with sports, right?
Sports, yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally tried for like conversation's sake to like get into it, and I don't give a fuck.
All right. Hey,
it would take hours to like.
Right.
It's so much, and I've tried doing like I'll watch like the clips and highlights, and still.
All right. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I love sports, but I don't like the UFC or the cars. I don't know anything about that. So like in some ways I'm a guy, in some ways I'm a woman.
Yeah, I'm a total woman. Let me start it.
Oh yeah,
beautiful. Yeah,
dude, we're in, bro.
I'm an absolute total woman when it comes to sports.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish because I feel like. Like my dad.
Chris Stefano, by the way. Sorry, Chris Stefano.
What's up, baby? I'm here. By the way, I'm here with hungover with no hair product in. So if anyone's going to talk shit about my hair, you go fuck yourself. I'm growing it out, scumbags. Because I know what your fans are going to say. They're
not going to say anything. They're not going to talk about your hair.
They're going to say they're going to come on here. Your fans are going to say, "How could he be so disrespectful? He comes on no hair product in a Zara t-shirt. What kind of guy does he think he is?" And I just want to say, you know what, guys, I don't give a fuck.
There you go. Set the precedent. Also, thank you for coming early in the morning.
Bro, I'm here, but we're dads, man.
Not a lot of comics exist before noon.
Bro, we're up, bro. We're up. We're hanging out. I mean, like, I got to, I'm on New York time. My kids get up at, what are we, an hour behind here?
Yeah.
So I'm up FaceTiming with the kids at 6 a.m., getting yelled at by them, their mother. So I was up ready to go.
Road FaceTime's tough, bro.
Dude.
It's tough.
It's bad. Yeah.
You cry on FaceTime, and your wife's like, I'm going to go. And you're like,
I know. Yeah, hope you're having fun in your hotel room, relaxing.
You just masturbated.
Yeah, I'm like, oh God, I know. My daughters keep calling. I'm like, I'm almost done. But
you have a little window. You're like, hey, what's going on,
dude? I got to be honest with you. It's horrible here. You can't watch porn. It's like blocked in Texas.
I know.
So I'm like, dude, yesterday I was jerking off to old Sports Center clips. They used to have some hotties back on old Sports Center. I've got like Linda Cohn, old Linda Cohn.
You gotta get creative. Yeah, you gotta get creative here.
Yeah, so what do you do? Like, how do you get around it?
Dude, it's funny. I mean, this is just testifies to the theory that I'm mostly woman, just erotic literature. I'll read like erotic literature online.
I like that.
Build a picture up in my head.
Yeah.
Or you can bust out like the old porn sites.
Yeah.
Like XN, XX.
So those aren't blocked?
They're not blocked yet.
That's funny that the Texas doesn't even know that those exist.
Just the main one. Yeah, it just blocks just the main. It was like when I grew up, my parents blocked all the music channels, but not BET because they didn't know it was a thing.
Right.
So I had BET.
Yeah, right.
That's the only music channel
that you could do.
Now I have a black wife, dude.
Dude, the thing they were trying to prevent, they created. And so, but wait, so did you grow up like hardcore, like rules, discipline type family?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Like military?
No. My parents had my dad and his brothers owned a trash company. But it was like Irish Catholic, super like church every Sunday.
Right.
Can't talk back.
Right.
Seen, not heard, all that stuff.
Do you do church still with your kids?
No, I want to go. My wife grew up more like Baptist.
Sure.
So, and I grew up in the Catholic church.
Right.
So I'm like, I told her like, pick a church. I'll go to whatever one you pick. Then I go to black church, and I'm always kind of like,
yeah, it's great.
It's fun, but I just feel like an interloper, dude. When I'm there, I feel like they can't go. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like a wet blanket on the party.
Yeah, they're kind of like we accepting of you here, but we actually really don't want you here.
That's the feeling. It could just be internally because
they're kind of like saying like we actually come to church because of what your people did to our people.
Exactly.
So now the fact that you're here, it just kind of sucks for us.
I get that feeling, and I feel bad the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like stiff because I'm holding down like Roman Catholic, like Roman soldiers.
That's it, dude.
Straight.
Yeah.
Head stoic as hell. And like they're having fun. And I'm like trying to move my just fucking petrified body. And it's just, It's uncomfortable. But I told my wife, I was like, just pick a place, I'll go.
And you'll go, yeah. Well, I always say, like, I'm Catholic as well. That's why we got the big triceps, dude, pushing down the gate, pushing it down. I've been like this since I'm a kid.
Do you put your butt on the kneel? Like when you kneel down, do you put your butt on the pew?
No. So I that was a big rule my mother had. Yeah, that was one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do in the presence of God is put your ass on that. You got to be full kneeled up, butt tight, wedgie in the khakis. You got to be straight up. And if I ever leaned back and put my butt back, my mother would point at me and yell, and I would have to get up.
I still get nervous. So as an adult, I'll go with my family every now and again with like my mom. And if I see like my wife hit her ass to the pew, and I was like 35, like get the
yeah, what are you doing?
I get nervous. I'm like, get your fucking ass off.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, listen, there's rules in our church in Rome. My family's Puerto Rican, so very similar. They're more not Baptist. It's like I think is it the Church of Latter-day Saints? I don't know what kind of school. It's Episcopalian. I don't know, dude.
It's one of those. Yeah.
They're always talking in Spanish. Yeah. I don't know what they're saying. I just know that their kind of church, when you walk in there, you literally think you're at like a Kill Tony show. Like you're like, there's people, the band's playing, there's like StubHub tickets, everyone's in a wheelchair. And you're just like, what is happening? Like, I almost feel like I need tickets to like get into her church.
Yeah.
So, but what I've been trying to tell my kids is like, listen, this whole idea of like, if we don't, my mom had it where if you do not go to church every Sunday or Saturday, 5 o'clock mass, you're doing bad. You're going to hell, sinning, blah, blah, blah. So I don't do that with my kids. I'm just like, look, we're going to make an attempt to go to church here every week. And if we can go, I'm just trying to get us to a place where we're not on our devices. We're not on our phones. You're not on your iPad. That's it. Mommy's off the spin bike. And then like, we're all just, let's go to church together. And I will say that when my family's in church, like they are calmer. They are everyone like spirituality. I'm not saying whatever religion you got to be, obviously, except don't be the big one, Muslim. And, no,
that's true. Be careful though if you're Muslim because you can get like hyped up.
Yeah,
hear the wrong sermon.
That's
next
the
thing you know, dude,
obviously
you're
I'm fucking
on
around.
Plane.
Yeah, exactly, dude. There's no problems with being Muslim at all, but you can't don't go all the way. You know what I mean? But you want to go a little bit? You want to fucking get in there, dip in, dip out? Yeah. Beautiful, dude. What a beautiful culture.
And a corrective measure for your wife. If you want to use it to like completely dom your wife, I get that.
100%, dude. Have her cover up.
40 chest, yeah.
Love it. Yeah, because, dude, but Muslim women, dude, when they, I don't know if, when they take that shit off, the beauty is next level, dude. They're like, they look Latina to me. They're Latina with hummus.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're the hummus Latinas, and I love them.
Yeah, they're beautiful babes.
Yeah, dude, I love babes. Austin has got so many.
It's crazy.
What we've seen, what Steve, my tour manager, Steve Ciccone Rice-Aroni, is here in the background, and him and I have been walking around, and Steve's a horny guy.
Yeah, I bet.
Steve's like a horny guy.
I thought that when I met him. I was
dude,
like, a horny ass
Steve's
guy.
the kind of guy, he lives above his mom's garage in like Long Island. Like Steve's a guy that like he needs to fuck, and he wants to jerk off, and it's like, and I allow it. I'm like, dude, whatever you want to do. He's, his hair's blown in the wind in the back of his hat. Like this guy needs to bang. And dude, and he's actually telling me that it's like hard to take for him. Like he's getting like, because it's so much and it gets agitating. And for me as well, it's like, you don't know what to do, what to say. You're like, because a woman walks by you and you're like, I know I have a family, but I'm willing to throw it away just to have a conversation with her. Yeah. Because in the moment, I'm only alive once and this is what I need to do. I'm a man. Yeah. I need to do this. This is what my father wants me to do. I have to honor our family name. And then you're about to go walk and talk to her. And then you see another one and it just keeps happening. And you don't know what to do.
And they're not wearing bras.
No, they're not wearing bras. And I've seen the outline of 100 women's vaginas in this city. I've been here for 2 days. Steve and I have seen 100 pussies.
Steve, I'm sorry you're suffering like that, dude. Yeah, obviously, you're just chilling, just being like a rock, just being like Steve, dude. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Dude, Steve's one of these guys. He's like very punctual, always on time for everything. The last 2 days, dude, he's been late, sprinting out of the hotel room, hair soaking wet, and I know he was cranking it.
He was having an episode?
Yeah, dude. He's been going, what? Because this city, men and women, talk about a city like Austin, some of the most beautiful. We went to the gym yesterday, and we saw 5 of the most beautiful women we've ever seen in our entire life. Jacked, ripped, tip-top shape. And the guys, like me and him, were almost like falling off the elliptical, which is like, again, when we go to the women's parts of the gym, we're on the elliptical protecting our knees.
You got to protect the joints, though, man. You don't need wear and tear.
But these guys who were doing like the real guy shit, you know, ball slams and, you know, all that, they're not even fazed by this because I guess it just becomes a part of what it is in this city. Is beautiful. Even you, dude, you were walking, you're like all jacked up now. Where when I saw you when you were living in Philly, dude, you look like Stephen Hawking. You were like,
I was just slumped up.
Dude, you were slumped up, but now you're like
beautiful
pumped.
babes get you pumped, man.
Dude, you've been lifting, definitely.
I have been lifting a lot, yeah. I've been lifting a lot.
Creatine? You doing a little creatine?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
A little bit of creatine.
Did you get do you get any puffiness or is it just pretty much jacked?
I'm pretty puffy. I'm a pretty puffy dude. I was puffy before the creatine.
No, but I could tell.
I did get jacked up. I came down here. I didn't know what to do with myself. Whenever I get like nervous or overwhelmed, I just start like lifting weights.
Where do you lift in your house?
Yeah, no, I have an apartment I use as an office. So I like go there to write and like get out of my house, and I have a gym attached to the apartment. I just go like.
By the way, that's the move, is even if you're in a obviously you love your wife, you're a committed guy. As men, we do need a separate apartment. You do. I just need a separate apartment. Maybe it's my office. Maybe it's just a place that I just need to go and just sit in.
Take naps.
But I do need a place where I need to leave this house. Yeah. Because our jobs doesn't require us to leave. You could write and do it in the house.
It took the debate it took to get that. Like, she's like, we have an office in the house. I'm like, I need to get out of here. Right. Every 5 minutes, like, the landscaper's here. And I'm like, dude. Yeah. So I did it in Philly too. Get an apartment. It's
worth it. Yeah.
And everyone's gone while you're there. Yeah. Everyone's at work, so it's quiet.
And you actually get writing done. My family and my girl let me have same thing apartment. The only thing is she's got the baby cam that we used to use for our toddler. She's got it in my apartment on me at all times. That's the only thing.
It does sound like a smash bag.
It does, but I'm like, it's not. I swear to God, I'm just trying to write. I'm just trying to write about history in there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally watching documentaries on General McClellan, and she thinks I'm like banging women. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm watching fucking like Ken Burns documentaries about the Civil War. That's all I'm doing.
It's quiet.
Yeah, and you don't need, it's. I think people take that for granted. Like, you need some separation. Even now, like I really hate being away from my kids. I miss them so much. But when I'm away from them for a few days, I just feel like I come back and I'm just like a recharged, better dad. Yeah. I'm talking to my kids about little things I learned. And then, because I'm like, if you just sit in that situation, I don't know, you just start to take for granted what you have. And then when I leave, I'm like, dude, what a fucking life I have. I have beautiful kids or whatever. I got Steve on the road getting horny. I'm like, what a life, dude. But if you just sit in your circumstances, then you start to normalize things. And then you start to think what you have isn't that good when it's actually all you've ever dreamed of.
Yeah, it's true, man. I saw I was standing outside today and I saw this like homeless lady just chilling outside near, she was like inspecting the trash cans. And I'm like chilling there, like just watching her. And I'm like, damn, dude, this lady... No one's giving this lady a hug. Long.
Did you go up and do it?
Thought about it. I gave her a really like friendly good morning. I said, good morning, ma'am. And she just kind of like.
That's nice.
Looked at me and it was cool too because I never seen like she was quiet and she was like, looking through the trash. And then I like watched her get activated where out of nowhere she was just like, and started like screaming. I was like, I've never seen, like she was so chill. Yeah. And something happened where like boom and it snapped and she just started yelling at somebody and just walked across the street.
Yeah. The homeless here are wild, like they're on some type of crank or whatever, rolling around in the streets. I've actually never seen anything like it, but I will say they're not as aggressive as the homeless. Believe it or not, in Glasgow, Scotland, dude, me and the guy I work with, James Mattern, shout out James Mattern.
Is he horny too or not?
He's a horny dude. He's a horny dude. He's a horny dude. He's got a hairy back. He's like a horny fucking hairy back guy. Yeah, dude. But he's a horny guy and he's got a big dick. Shit. That dude. The one
dangerous combo.
We used to call it on my old pod History Hyenas with Giannis. We used to call it the glue gun. This kid had a glue gun. Like you could see it through his jeans and it was like nuts.
Really?
Kid's got an absolute piece.
I've heard they're lazy lovers though. Big dicked men, I've heard, are very lazy lovers.
You know what it is? He doesn't know who his real father is, so I think that I think he's charged up, and he's raised by his grandparents, so he's got like a lot of. I think he just tries to. He's basically fucking women and try to find his father.
Yeah, true. That's like kind of wild. If you're raised by your grandparents, it's kind of like you're like kind of wild at that point.
But dude, we're out there and we went to this bakery in Glasgow. I wanted to go to this specific bakery. I forgot what it was called, but they had like this kind of carrot cake, like muffin. I was like, I got to get this muffin. Yeah. And we saw this homeless lady walking around. She was, could fully see, but she had a blind stick. So she must have like taken it from an actual blind person. And she's walking around with this stick, like hitting it off the wall. And then we're like, what? This lady's fucking nuts. So I'm just standing out there like eating it, whatever. Dude, she takes the carrot cake out of my hand and smashes it in her face. And then swings the stick at me. I was like, whoa. Oh my God, dude, me and him were sprinting down the street.
I was insane.
Like, lady's nuts. So when I saw that, I was like, yo, when people ask me, where's the craziest homeless people? I'm like, believe it or not, dude, it's Glasgow, Scotland. I've never seen anything like that.
That's such a wild assault. And just crushing it into your own face.
And then swung this walking stick at me that she didn't even need. And then she screamed something in like Gaelic or whatever, Scottish, you know, Highland language, fairy language they're speaking at somebody else. And like nobody even kind of moved. Everyone was kind of like, oh yeah, that's just, you know, crazy Susan.
You should have grabbed the staff.
I know, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
But I guess I would have been scared in that situation.
Dude, I saw the only time I've ever seen, so what I will say about New York though, because people, you know, shit on New York, oh, it's not safe anymore, and there's, right. I lived in New York, I've lived there my whole life. I never once, not one time in my 39 years of living, did I ever get even approached by a homeless person or a crazy, it just—
They're very subdued, yeah.
Didn't happen. But in the last 6 months, walking down McDougal Street, you know, like West Village, whatever, I've had 3 homeless people that I have to one guy, I had to do this one time in my life, and it was recently. I had to push him off me because he was like going like in my— I pushed him off me and he fell over a pile of garbage. Yeah, and his fucking elbow landed in like a disgusting puddle. And I kind of felt bad, but I was like, what did you want me to do here?
Yeah, why was he getting in your face?
Because they're crazy. They're like out of control and the police can't really arrest them. They can't do anything. All my boys are cops. One of my boys, I told him about the story and he goes, do you want to take my baton with you? I was like, that'd be fucking crazy. If I just start beating back homeless people with a licensed NYPD baton.
How'd it feel though when he gave the fucking push?
Dude, I got to be honest with you. The way that because I have a bad Achilles, but the way I was able to just kind of load my weight on the back and push, I kind of told my therapist, like, I think we're out of the woods here. I think my Achilles is good.
That's all you needed.
I just launched a homeless guy into oncoming traffic and I felt almost no pain in the Achilles.
Yeah, you need that, dude. I'm telling you, that's all I've been doing recently is just fantasizing about just combat.
Right.
Because it's like there's nothing left for me to do. I went to ACL with my whole family, the Austin City Limits tour.
Yeah.
It fucking sucked, by the way. I hated it. But I was there the whole time, and all I wanted to do was just fight like a 24-year-old.
Right.
Just man.
Are you into the UFC? Like, can you do a little fighting? Can you handle yourself?
I did do jiu-jitsu for like 6 months when I was going through a divorce, which was pretty sick.
Right. Oh, this is your second wife?
It's my second marriage, yeah.
So I didn't know that. I thought was the first wife black as well?
Yes.
Nah, there you go. Yes, back to back. Yeah, but this wife is you didn't have children with the other wife, so I've never met the other. Your current wife, that's the mother of your children.
Yes,
okay, yeah, she's great. Yeah. So how long did the first marriage last?
About like 3 years.
3 years, and then what happened?
Short, in and out.
Just got crazy.
My heart wasn't in it. Yeah.
Your heart wasn't in it.
My heart wasn't.
So
in
she wanted to stay, but you wanted to leave.
Yeah, unfortunately.
See, when that happens on the man, that's a very difficult thing for the man to go through because when
statistically doesn't happen a lot either. Which further theory that I have a woman brain. Most women initiate divorce. I think like 75%.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost impossible if the woman doesn't want it. Then it's like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But once the woman says it's over, that's it, buddy. There's absolutely zero. You can do nothing. If your wife comes to you, fans listening at home, and she says it's over, just don't even attempt. Don't even attempt to fuck. By the way, she's moved on with another guy secretly for 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So just know it's over. Please don't even try.
Yeah. Or what you can do is get back, start like a viral business TikTok and just do numbers and just absolutely crush her.
100%, dude.
That's all you can do.
How did you tell the first wife like it's over?
It had been in conversation here and there, and then eventually I just kind of reached like a breaking point myself. Yeah. It was just me. I just entered into a relationship like
when you said you go. What was her name? Oh, actually,
I'm saying that.
Yeah, you can't say that. As soon as I said that, I was like, don't say her name. And then I was like, so you're like.
I just wasn't ready. It was like I still wanted to do stand up, and then it was like I was being pulled into like it was just over. Like the tomb was in front of the boulder. Like you got to enter the corporate world or like career man.
Whatever.
I couldned do it, and then I had to just had to go off.
She goes, "You must be out your goddamn mind."
Yeah, pretty much. No, they were like her and her mother were really trying. I tried. It was like kind of laughable.
I believe it.
I became like a personal trainer at LA Fitness for 3 weeks. Walked out in the middle of the
that's
session.
what black women want. That's what they want in their white husbands. Is he needs to be a trainer at Planet Fitness? Oh, LA Fitness. Planet Fitness would be sick.
But yeah, I really tried it. For me, I'd never ever been in a relationship before that where I put any effort or cared at all. all.
Right.
So that was like a learning experience. Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I'm dealing with other human beings. I'm not like, this isn't like a simulation.
The way you and your
myself.
current wife are is really beautiful, and you love each other, because when I was hanging out with you guys with my girl, I got yelled at when we got back in the hotel because I don't treat her the way you treat your wife. She was like, you see how nice he's, you see how in love they are. You see how
what was she going off of though?
I don't know. Just, I guess she saw you guys make eye contact once.
Yeah. I was like, I wasn't even next to that. A lot of that too is women. I've noticed that. And I've asked my wife, I'm like, when we're standing there and they go, give me a kiss when we're in a crowded place. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That's not for like me or you. You're doing that for something else.
Yeah. Well, she's doing that to peacock because she thinks other girls are looking at you. She's like, so this is my, it's my guy. He's a trainer at LA Fitness.
Former.
Yeah, former, dude.
Former.
Yeah. I
always wondered about that because they are like comparing a lot, being like what, because I wasn't really affectionate towards my wife that night at all.
Yeah.
I was doing it on purpose. I wanted to come off like cool. So
I think, like, well, no, but even I noticed, I was like, oh, these two are in love.
Yeah.
You could feel that. You could feel like this wife's going to be a forever one.
Yeah.
Unless you kill her.
God forbid. Yeah, that would be, or God willing.
Yes.
Or killing. Dude, honestly, like I would rather get broken up with than initiate the breakup.
Oh my God, initiating the breakup's the worst.
It's for real, the worst.
All the guilt and the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and you have to just deal with it.
I really think it's like, it's like killing them.
Sure.
It's like you're killing a person on a level where you're just like, we're never going to see each other.
And was she like begging you, like, please, like, don't do this type thing?
Nah, it wasn't like that. It was just sad, dude.
Yeah,
it was just so sad because I had my mind made up and there was nothing I could do.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
You get to a point where you're just like, well, now I've reached the deep. I'm off the other side of the fucking deep end, and there's no coming back.
When you know. That was all for relationships for me. It's like I would just try desperately just to get pussy. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, now my life's conjoined to this person. And then I would just try to figure out how to get out of it the whole time.
Yeah.
Then I got married and I was like, oh shit. And then it became this whole thing. And I got to like finally live with a woman and really like see them.
Yeah.
They would just kind of like, you'd get a girlfriend and they would just materialize when you're younger. And you're like, oh sweet, we're at the movies. And you'd be like, let's try to get some pussy. Yeah. And then you started like, when your life's conjoined with a woman, for me, it was such a learning experience to be like, oh, okay, like you guys have this whole wide range of emotions, and that was. Dude,
I was reading about, and that's all societal too. Like I was reading about what the hell was it the Aardvark? It's not the Aardvark Native Americans. Aardvark's an animal, but it's something like that. It's something like Arvar Tribe or something like that. But they were like an old school tribe. I think they still might be around today, but like when they were like 1800s, and their whole belief system was so opposite of what was going on at, like the European settlers. They were like, they thought it was crazy, men and women, to marry one person and to only raise your own children. That was like a foreign concept to them. They're like, no, what the women do here is the men fight for who's the strongest guy, and then they get to fuck the strongest woman, and then they fuck, and that one gets pregnant, so she goes away, and then the next one steps up, and you keep fighting, and then that's
such a good idea.
And then you impregnate them, right? And then here's how it works.
Are the women fighting too, or are they doing?
No, the women are just there. The women are just there.
How are they gauging their strength? I guess just like
I guess the men are fighting and doing all types of things, but then like, I'm sure it's just who's the hottest.
Yeah,
the
hottest.
The guys are just like that one. Who's got the biggest tits? That's just all it is.
She has strong tits.
Yeah, so like when you get all the way down the list, you're like, fuck, what am I even fighting for over this pig? So the guys would fight, whatever. And then here's the interesting thing. Number one, have the baby, and then that baby, it's not your and hers baby. It's you created that baby together, but it's for the village, and the village raises it. Like it takes a village, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no monogamy is not, and they not only do they not believe in it, they think it's actually bad for society. They're like, why would you do that? And then with like abortion and stuff like that, it's obviously a thing. Big debate, whatever, and guilt, and I get why, of course, but this culture. If you say you impregnated like the top lady, right? And then she's pregnant and she's watching you over the next few months, and she's like, this guy's actually weak. He's not as strong as I thought. They had this potion of herbs and spices. They would abort the baby. Dude, they would abort it. And it was like, it was not even shameful. The guy was shamed on, like, you did that, motherfucker.
Fuck,
dude.
Yeah. So that's fucking.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, abortions are kind of guys' fault too.
Yeah, 100%.
Still to this day, it's kind of like, yo, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
she should have like lifted a log in front of her.
Yeah,
dude. You sure you want to fucking do this?
yeah. I've been on the sidelines for a couple of them. I'm like, dude, this is me. This is me.
My fault.
My fault. My bad, dude.
I should be stronger.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah.
Dude, that if you saw your wife or the lady, I guess, just sipping the potion, I'd be like, oh,
fuck.
what did I do?
I'm such a fucking little bitch.
Yeah, I wonder if you could. So, can you enter back? Do you got to wait until the pregnancy to enter back into combat, or can you just enter back into the ring and just?
So that I don't know. I got to do more research because I kind of just read that point and then I just put the book down. I was like, I got to find this tribe.
If this tribe is still active, you should go there.
Dude, this is where I got to be.
You should go there and be like, and then when you're there, be like, dude, what the fuck? I had it. I gotta, I can't like other myself from the culture.
Yeah, dude.
Just have some kid on.
I got to follow the lead. But like, because when you start to look back in history, it's like this whole idea of like, no, I get why monogamy is a big, I get it. I really do understand. But I'm like, oh shit, it's just like the pressure that society puts on you in our, we got puritanical society here. Like, those pilgrims were kind of, zealots, witchcraft, all that shit. But like you go to Europe, dude, if you go to Europe and you're in Italy or Spain or whatever, and you just like, one of you like bang another person, it's like it's like they'll be mad at you, your spouse, but you're not going to get you're not going to lose your marriage. You only lose your marriage if you fall in love with another person. But like you can definitely go out and bang.
Yeah,
that's like not a big problem.
That's crazy.
It's not a great thing, but I don't think it's like you going to a strip club with your boys. Like your wife would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Same thing with banging a chick. They're like, "What? Are you serious, dude? Don't do that, you asshole." But if you're in love or they find text, like that's the bigger deal.
The emotional affair, if you're like, I love you so much.
Yeah.
I knew someone who was who got caught sending like Beach Boys lyrics to their lover. Over, bro.
That'll get
That's
you,
love,
dude.
That's
that'll
love.
get you. Yeah. I was sending Hall and Oates songs to this girl. I was like, "You had a touch, we had a time," and then my girl's like, "Dude, you have to move out."
Yeah, they sent "Wouldn't it be nice" lyrics. Wouldn't it be nice? It's like, dude, you're fried.
I know, man. It's
but it is. Yeah, I think about it a lot, especially once you like. Because when I was younger, I'd always be like. You'd hear about a guy, like a pizza shop owner, would just like bang a cashier.
Sure.
You're like, how the fuck could somebody do that? And as you get older, you're like, the current of that river is pretty strong. You
100%.
dip your toe into that a little bit, dude. I'm like, I see how do you get carried off.
You get it, bro. I got a friend who's a doctor, and he's happily married, great guy, whatever. But he was like, dude, the amount of doctors that bang the nurses on these overnight shifts, he's like, it's literally like. It's the most stereotypical thing. Like the nurses know these guys are married or whatever, but it's like, and it's always the same thing. It's the male doctor and the female nurse, and they just fuck. And he was like, I think it's because he's like, it's one of those things where, like, we're around so much death in the hospital that I think somebody dies, something tragic happens, and then your body, you start to get horny because your body is like, oh, I just saw death, let me create life, type thing. He's like, so I kind of don't even, I get it.
And doctors are they're like a sexual fantasy for women.
Oh
like
yeah,
there was like ER. They're like one of the things. There's like firefighters, doctors.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things women see and get horny for.
Dude,
and they're like the boss in the thing.
Yeah. Dude, my boy, the doctor, he looks like a golf club. He literally, his head is all fucked up. He's got eyes are like that. He looks sick, but every girl's like, he's so hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's a doctor.
Dude, I feel, I've been in hospitals before, just like when people are sick and I'm kind of like, dude, I feel the tension. I'm like, damn, this is a very sick There's a bunch of nasty nurses running around.
Dude, I remember my grandfather, passed away, he had a stroke, and his nurse, she was like, Latina kind of, she wasn't like a smoke show, but she was hot enough. And just because she was caring for him, I remember I went in there one day and they were scrubbing him down. He just like shit his pants and they were scrubbing him down. I was getting fucking horny while this nurse was just scrubbing down my grandfather's bare ass. I was like, oh shit, I love this. Because I don't know what it was. I was like, she's a caretaker. I wanted to scrub my nuts.
Yeah, there is something about that. When the nurse comes in, they're really sweet. They are like, that does get a guy like
teachers,
me going as well.
Just like women that care. You're just like, oh man, I want that, you know? But then our minds go to these fantasies and then you create these fantasies with like other ladies. Like, oh, my life will be like this. Like, just want a lady to like cook for me wearing, an Eli Manning jersey and making me pasta every weekend. And then just kind of sucking my dick and just letting me watch the game. I'm like, can't I have that? Man, I'm only going to live once. And my dad's like, are you stupid asshole?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can't, dude. You like, and then also too, the fantasy never matches. It's always as soon as, eventually, it's going to be that's just a lady like bristling, just like what?
And you prepare for it now because my father did give me good advice. He was like, "Well, let me tell you something." He goes, when we're out, he was like, my dad's 76 now. 1776.
Yeah,
Best year, dude. By the way, every single passcode on my door, phone, any 4-digit code is 1776. It's just how I roll. Yeah.
I know someone who has their door codes.
Yeah, that's like, so if you ever want to rob anything from me, just know, go 1776. And then if that doesn't work, it's 1812. War of 1812, baby.
Well, it's sick too when someone like, yeah, what's your door code? And you're like 1776, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not a communist, bro. Yeah, and every passcode is like, baseball USA. Hot dogs United States.
So what was the advice
so my father, so he said to me,
gave you?
He goes, he was like, he's like, when you, as you get older, he was like, your brain doesn't change, your body changes. So he was like, when you and I are standing in the video store, this is how old of an example it was. It was like, okay, we haven't done that in years. But he's like, when we stand in the video store, he goes, and you see that hot 25-year-old girl walking in, he goes, the same way your brain says, I'd love to bang that girl, I think I got a shot, so does mine. Whoa. He goes, my brain hasn't changed from the 25-year-old man I used to be. He goes, but then I look in the mirror and I see what I've become. He goes, and it really messes with you. He goes, so just don't think. So his point was, he was like, right now, he's like, I'm 75, I have diabetes, and I have a useless dick. Yeah. My dick doesn't work at all anymore. Yeah. He's like, I haven't banged your stepmother in 20 years. I'm like, great. Nice. Yeah. So he's like, but no, my brain has not changed at all. Yeah. So you have to prepare that this struggle that you're going through, this will not stop. Your brain doesn't get, every old guy you see out there, they want to bang the young women. They just can't. Yeah. So you have to just accept what it is. And this is like what kind of your sentence is of being a man through this world.
You have to like practice not getting pussy, almost in like a Buddhist
type of way.
Being like, it's also one of those things that will fade. So you do have to prepare for it.
I know my guy, who I work with a lot is like, very like Zen guy. He was like, listen, dude, you're going to be away, for a week. He's like, I'm telling you, try not to masturbate. Like, just try to like channel all that energy. I know you're going to be alone. It's hard. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I swear to God, I'm going to do it. I walked through the airport, the Austin airport, and I saw 5 pussies in Lululemon pants. Like, I saw the outline of 5 full vaginas, and
crazy.
I jerked off at the reception desk. I checked in and just started cranking it.
Dude, it's the camel toe is crazy. I was talking to my wife about it recently because she was going out in the exercise gear. Mm-hmm. She was like, did these look right? And I was just kind of like, yeah, man, you don't have to hike them up your pussy. Pull them down a little bit.
Yeah, but
she's like, well, I don't even care about that. I don't even think about that. I'm like, people think about that.
Yeah.
That's like, I see those and it fucks me up for like 4 minutes. I'm kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
I see nipples emerging and like a pussy print or butt cheeks.
And the ass, it's crazy, dude. And I'm telling you, dude, I'm not gay, but the men too. Like their legs that they have on these guys with the tattoos on the quads. I'm like, I get it, fellas.
It's crazy. No,
I want to fucking, let's hang out.
Just running by a river,
dude.
Shirtless.
Yeah, we don't got to like do anything gay, but we'll get a coffee or something.
Yeah, just talk.
Yeah, dude.
Just talk.
I was asking random guys, like, you want to come on my pod tomorrow? Just shoot the shit.
Yeah, it is. It really is like beautiful men and women.
Yeah, because
a bunch of colleges. I think there's like a bazillion, like 5 different colleges.
There are, even though I've said it, I've made it clear that I thrive in the original 13 colonies, and that's where I want to be comedically in my life. I will say there's way more beautiful people as you start to come west. The original 13 colonies were not the hottest bunch. No. We're not. We got some hotties. We definitely have some hotties.
Well, didn't they like send out like the people who were like the first wave of just like prisoners and peasants they like shipped out here against their will of Europeans?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they would just take like prisoners from England and just like people who were fucking up and be like, yo, you're going. And then they came out here. They promised them like, we'll get you a wife. We'll like whole new, new land, new you. And then they just started sending out like whores. They would like arrest women for prostitution and throw them out and send them out here and be like, these are your wives, and half of them would like die on the way out. You just get like a Skeletor come off the boat.
Just disgusting.
And the dudes were pissed. They're like, don't give us fucking whores. We want mom and apple pie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like criminals, and they just like had people till the land and just die.
Yeah.
For like 2 generations.
Dude, I read this book too. You ever read it was called Island in the Center of the World. It was about New York City because, before the British, when it was like just the Dutch. This author, Russell Shorto, great. It's like an amazing read because we only know, like even me in school, I've only really learned about like what British society was like. But dude, Dutch society in New York, they called it New Amsterdam, Dutch society, they were like in the 1600s, they were as woke as we are now. Dude, they had fucking no slaves. Everybody was out there fucking everybody. They were having parties, dancing in the streets, like a beautiful type of culture. And then the British came in and were like, rules, like shit got puritanical quick and kind of like lost the fun. But the whole idea, but this idea of like America, like originally was this Amsterdam idea of like, this is the place, like they wanted New York to be like Amsterdam, like smoke weed, prostitutes everywhere.
Buds,
just chill, dude. And they wanted that to spread across the country. But instead, we got the British idea.
That British law and order. New York was too valuable. Right on the sea, right? Yeah, it's like,
so you just, dude, tonight you just look at your wife and say, why don't we be Amsterdam tonight? Instead of, dude, let me get freaky.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Going to what your dad said, there is something too, like you have to, because by default, it's like, I'm going to build up this program of like seeking pleasure. It's like, I'm going to get pussy. I'm going to do this. This is going to be awesome. Like your dad's saying, that fades physically.
Sure.
So you have to build a bank of like non-bodily pleasure.
Yeah.
And if you just fuck your way through life, you just destroy everything, and you're left just like dickless.
Dickless at the end.
Dickless and alone. We're all dickless. We're all going to be dickless. You got to build up like a dickless safety plan where you start to like enjoy like walks.
Yeah.
People in your life.
Oh yeah, dude.
It just sucks doing that because you just want to come really hard.
That's all I want to do. Yeah. I take like, especially with kids, now I have 14, 9, and 3, but like, so 3 is like crazy, right? She's the cutest, but it's like a legitimate like lunatic terrorist person. But so what I do now, and my dad gave me this advice. He was like, life isn't for you now. It's going to be about little breaks. You're not going to get an hour-long break most likely. Like that's just not going to happen. What you got to do is 5 seconds. He said, so when your 3-year-old, your daughter, like she doesn't want to get in the car seat, you got to fucking jam her in there. I'm like, basically like I'm putting in like jujitsu moves just to get the safety belt on and the 3-point harness. And so I do it, and he was like, and then you shut that door, don't just run around and go right into the driver's seat. Take a nice 10-second walk around the car. You have 10 seconds alone. Take a breath, take 5 breaths, and then get in the car and drive. Like little resets. And dude, that's like the game changer where I just take these little, because the bottom line is like there's times where like I can't meditate. I can't just sit there 20 minutes in the sauna meditating because I'm just going to jerk off. I'm just going to break it and just start jerking off. So instead what I do is I say, you know what? Let me try to take an hour a day, if I can, an hour a day just off my device. Just like go for a walk, just do something. And like that's what I'm counting as meditation, because to just sit there for 20 minutes with my eyes closed, I literally will just start jerking off and I can't do it. And then it defeats the purpose. Or at least this way without... Because I'm reading all these studies now where it's like, we're constantly excited from the phone to the screen to this to that to the kids to the life. But like older people, like they had long bouts of like no stimulation, like get bored. It's like go get bored somewhere. Yeah. And that's kind of how I think about it.
So your brain, so there's a thing called EEG habituation. So like, if like a naked lady walked in here, our brain waves would be brrr, but if it happened every 10 seconds, literally your brain habituates to that stimuli. So then you just like, it's nothing to you anymore. So that they say meditators have, like long-term meditators do have, it's almost like childlike EEG habituation where they like they can see a tree and it's like that, like a kid looking at it, like, whoa. Right. But if you're just kind of just like jamming shit in your face all the time, nothing will excite you.
Do you meditate?
I try. I used to be really good at doing it and like really like good about doing it. And then, I just I would always be like, I don't get how people say they can't like sit down and just meditate. Now I've hit a place where I can't do it again. I don't know what happened. But I just sit down and I just start to freak out. I'm like, I got to do this.
Well, are your kids
trying to start now doing it again? Though.
Are they in school now, your kids?
Yeah, the one is the 4-year-old's in pre-K and the 2-year-old is like, she goes like 2 days a week.
So saying you have a couple of days a week where like you and your wife like don't have the kids for we have 6 hours.
We have a babysitter come during the day.
So you got some time. Yeah. That's good.
I have time to work, but then I have to just get so much stuff done.
Yeah.
But I've been the walk is good for me too. If I do a nice long walk, it's like, I think that counts.
It does. It definitely does. But it's like one of those things, it's like, you just feel gay as a guy going for a walk. I kind of always just feel gay too. Like when I'm pushing my kid in a stroller, I'm like, dude, just let me hold you.
I know.
Let me hold you like a football. Cause I just feel gay. I feel gay just like going for a walk. It's gay. And I wish it wasn't. I wish I felt like more. And by the way, I'm not even disparaging gay. I think being gay is powerful. True. But I guess I kind of just feel like more feminine.
I feel like you're appropriating gay culture by taking walks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I'm okay with that.
I want the gays. I like taking walks, and
you don't feel like less of a guy.
No, not walking. Okay, walking you feel almost like a holy man. You feel very like zen out and blissful. And and every great man would take a constitutional.
That's true.
So it's like it's par for the course. Keeping a journal, all the things you think are gay. Keeping a journal, not gay. Every great man kept a journal.
Yeah.
And you take it constitutional.
Dude, even if you go back to the founding fathers, dude, you think throwing on a pair of pantyhose is gay? Look at our founding fathers. Dude, you think were they all cross-dressers? Go look at old pictures of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They're in literally high-heel shoes and pantyhose with wigs on. I'm like, these guys are my dream.
They had those like thigh things.
Yeah, dude. Those were men, dude. They would put wigs on and pantyhose and high-heel shoes.
Smoking
and they'd be like,
CBD.
That's what we're going to do, bro. We're going to take over this goddamn country. So for me, I look back at our fathers and I'm like, dude, if they're doing it,
yeah,
let's get real, you know?
Yeah, taking walks definitely isn't gay. It's a shame that we've been made to believe it's gay.
Yeah.
Because they just want you on the device.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But then it's like, I do like to listen to music while I walk. Because I've tried to just be like, no music, no nothing. And it's kind of like, yeah.
But sometimes we got to like really reconnect. Like, I think sometimes for me to, like, I want to ride a horse, you know? Like, just get on a horse and just fucking go down a path.
That'd be nice.
That'd be sick.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Hold your baby too. I feel you on the baby stroller. Because there is the part where it's like, you feel like women see it and they're like, oh, that's so sweet. But then it's like anything they like is gay.
Yes.
I was like, I want to just like hold them by their foot like a dead chicken.
Yeah. Like Achilles.
Yeah. Lucy is made for your nicotine routine and delivered straight to your door. It's 100% pure nicotine and always tobacco free. Lucy isn't like every other nicotine pouch company that's owned by Big Tobacco. They're like the mom and pop shop of pouches. Have you ever heard about Breakers? It's pouches that pack a little something extra inside. If you know your pouches, you know that the nicotine doesn't hit immediately, and neither does the flavor. The geniuses at Lucy came up with a brilliant way to fix both those problems. They put a mini liquid capsule inside each Breakers pouch. Here's what you do. Grab a Breakers pouch and break the capsule. Yes, with your teeth. It makes a really satisfying pop. Put it in your lip and enjoy the immediate nicotine and flavor release. I mean, doesn't that sound great? Just biting on crystals, letting them drip in your mouth. I love it. Okay, guys, visit lucy.co/drenched and use promo code DRENCHED to get 20% off your first order. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Guys, let me just tell you right now about True Classic. I mean, I genuinely like their shirts. They were sent to me for free. I hung them up in my closet thinking, whatever. And I will say, when it comes time to put on a shirt, I go, ooh, my True Classics. I like wearing them. They fit me well. Designed to accentuate your best features, True Classic shirts are tailored for a perfect fit. Snug in the arms and chest with just the right amount of room in the midsection. True Classic sells premium products at an affordable price. You can get their best-selling t-shirts, hoodies, jeans, and more in 3, 6, and 9 packs. True Classics activewear becomes essential for workouts and vacations alike. Their activewear crew necks offer moisture-wicking, quick-dry, and odor control. Pair them with their super soft, stretchy joggers for all-day comfort. Fall is here. It's time to step up your game. Right now, you can unlock big savings when you bundle packs. Just go to my exclusive link at trueclassic.com/MSSP to save. That's trueclassic.com/MSSP. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today. Prize Picks is the best way to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. I mean, dude, you guys know how I feel about this. I love getting in on real money sports action. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineup live. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need a win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DRENCHED to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code DRENCHED on the Prize Picks app to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. But yeah, it is, I don't know, man. It's tricky, dude. It's very tricky. A lot of I see here more so. I think like young women might be just like feeding the life force from like homeless people and like dads here. A lot of the dads here present as gay.
Sure.
Like, I think something happened where I think people have like men especially have reached, like, I feel like educated kind of men have reached inside themselves and killed this switch where like they just become like, well, it's weird, dude. It's like, dude, come on, man.
Especially us as like, you know, like comedians, like our world is a little like, you know, the older school men are like, what do you do? Like, they don't care how much money you're making or not making. Like, what are you doing, dude? Go build something. Yeah. Go like work. Go to a factory. Yeah. And I feel like, because, you know, I'm not like a guy at all. Like I said, I don't know how to build or do anything. So there's a lot of times where like my kids will like walk out the door of school and I just will lift up the hood of my car. I don't even know what I'm looking at, just so they can somewhat, my daughters, and I'm just like, have a good day, girls. And I'm kind of just like doing the Macarena. Just
building memories.
Yeah. I'm just rolling my arms. I'm going like that. I have no idea. But like anytime like I see like, but even though it's weird because like it's actually, you know, our careers to kind of have this time and to create whatever. But like when I go into a coffee shop at like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday and I see a guy there on his laptop, I'm like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Go to work. Yeah. But meanwhile, I'm there to write in my laptop. Yeah. But I'm mad at him.
Yeah, like, get out of here, dude.
I'm like, dude, like you're so lame. You got to go to fucking work. That's why I like Chinese dudes. That's why like I talk about it on stage a lot. It's like, you know, with play dates with kids, like my daughter like there's a Chinese kid in her class, and I hang out with him and his family because like, first of all, I've never met every other parent is like available for a play date at 2 p.m. Yeah. The Chinese are not. They're working. Mom and dad work, and the grandparents watch the kids. That's just how the culture is. They're like, there's no work from home in China. There's no hybrid work. They're like, no, you're going to go to work. They lock their people in their houses with COVID. They don't give a fuck.
They have after school stuff for the kids because the parents work so long. My brother was telling me this. A lot of like the Indian and Chinese guys are out work. Families, mom and dad work super long hours. So after they go to school, they got to go to an after school program where they continue to learn about like science and shit. And the parents come up back at like probably like 6, 7 p.m.
Dude, this is what happened with the Nazis. You know, they were just fucking, you know, they just came out.
School.
Building shit. Blitzkrieg came out 1930s and just steamrolled motherfuckers. And that's what's going to happen with China. They're the ones working. Everyone else is like having fun, having sex, getting STDs. Yep. And not the Chinese, dude.
Yeah,
we still will crush them.
I think so. But I think we'll destabilize. We can destabilize them, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because there's that whole like middle coastal, there's like the middle portion that are poor and peasants and the coastal elites. And like, that's their whole history is that middle portion coming in, fucking people up, becoming the coastal elites, and they just kind of go back.
That's what it is. Yeah. You into Chinese culture? Chinese history?
I've like not a lot. I've read about it, but it's still a mysterious land as far as I know.
Oh yeah, dude. The Great Wall.
Full of mysteries.
I can't even understand it when they tell me about it. How they just built a wall throughout the whole country. I'm like, why? It's so dumb. They'll just climb it.
Shoot missiles over.
Look at my chair just fell down. Look at this. Do you see this? My chair just fell down. The Chinese fucking remote controlling my chair. Hold on.
But yeah, I think we're like currently destabilizing Russia, and once we get done destabilizing Russia, we'll probably turn our sights on China. And that's the only other really like powerful threat.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, that seems like, because Iran, who cares? North Korea, doesn't matter.
Not a problem. I've read, there's a good book called The Next 100 Years by George Friedman. I forget the guy's name, but he like laid it out, and he wrote it in like the early 2000s, and he was laying out like the, you know, Russia-Ukraine thing. He was like making predictions like before 2030 they have to go to war, they have to fight each other, Russia has to take back Ukraine, blah blah blah.
Really?
Yeah.
What was his reasoning why they have to take back Ukraine?
Because like they just need like a buffer. Like you can just be right into Russia from like in all those other points because of those like NATO countries.
Sure.
So you can just march right in. Ukraine, you can just kind of like, that's their one weak spot through Ukraine because the other parts are kind of like hard to get into. Right. But that like if you leave whatever that big city is, Kiev, you can be in like one of the big cities in Russia.
Do you think Russia is going to beat Ukraine? Like,
no, I don't think so.
You think Ukraine is just like a porcupine? Like they're just...
I think, well, in the book, he was like, it's not even about winning wars. The United States just needs to destabilize any other power. You don't have to win the war. You just have to fuck their economy up so bad that like it throws them off.
But that'll destabilize them for 20, 30 years, right? Yeah. Like we're not going to be able to go to Moscow as American citizens probably ever in our life.
No, probably not. And well, the problem is too, Russia is going through the population decline. And that was a big thing in the book. Like this is their last time we'll have all these young men. There's going to be a huge population dip. Right. So if we can kind of like fuck them up now, by 2050 they're not going to have like enough young
So we're
men.
in the driver's seat big time.
Yeah.
Like we're
according to this guy, you know,
I
people like
believe
to
him.
say China's going to take over, but he was like, not going to happen. He's like, he believes that Russia and China will collapse. And then 2030 will be like the 2030s onward. It'll be, you know, it's kind of been right. He was like, the 2020s are going to be so tumultuous, like very bad. But then like after that, there's going to be a presidency around like 2030, 2034, and they're really going to like figure it out and
unite us
have
all.
A new era of peace. Because his thing is that,
God, I hope I'm still selling tickets then.
I know.
That'd be fucking great. What was I think 2030? I'm fucking 40 now. It's 20. Oh, dude, I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna be like in my 50s.
Yeah, imagine how fun that'll be being 50 and you see like
that's true
25-year-olds and you're like, shut the fuck
up. Yeah, my dumb kids. Like, shut your mouth. Yeah. Oh God, I hope that happens. Yeah, because it does. I do feel like sometimes somber. Like I'm like, man, like I romanticize like the late 90s and early 2000s. Like, you know, obviously 9/11 was bad, but like, I don't know if you remember like 2007, 2008 was awesome.
Dude,
It's like
I was in college, yeah.
It was amazing times.
Yeah.
Everybody was having fun. And now I'm just like, everywhere I look, I'm like, it doesn't seem like people are as happy as they were, certainly not as free as they were.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's hopeful. The next 100 years, I'm going to get that book.
It's pretty good. It's really cool. They and the big thing too, they say like, these are just cycles. Like every 50 years, it's like a 50-year cycle where like someone passes like a huge like seminal policy. Like, you know, I can't remember one, but say like, Roosevelt did that whole thing, whatever his big policy was.
We'll carry a big stick.
Yeah, whatever the fuck he did.
Yeah.
But that'll solve a bunch of problems from the previous 50 years. But then 50 years later, that policy will cause problems that it takes 50 years to figure out and then solve, which then will solve those problems, era of peace, and that like policy creates new problems.
It's just a never-ending cycle.
Never-ending cycle of just kind of.
And if you guys want any chance to stop the cycle, do the right thing this November.
Yeah, true. Where are you at in November?
Come to comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin. No, I know. Yeah, I don't know. People are obviously all bent out of shape about who's going to be the president. I'm like, I don't know that it matters as much as you genuinely think it does. Yeah. I think it matters just for like political unrest on people crying, whoever wins. But I don't know. Have you ever really genuinely felt a genuine difference, whoever the president is?
No, I've never felt it except for COVID. When we got locked in and there were people being like, let people out versus let people in, that was the only time I've ever been like, but then you didn't have to do it. That was the other thing I told people, like, you didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
At least not in America.
I mean, dude, remember like they were like, oh, you're going to need like a vaccine card like forever. I was like, no, I don't think you are.
No, I had a fake one.
Sure.
It was easy.
Dude, there was a pizzeria in my neighborhood on 3rd Avenue in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn that was like literally, I swear, like the people that knew, if you ordered, I think it was 2 pepperoni slices and garlic knots come in 6. If you were like, oh, can I get 2 pepperoni slices and half an order of garlic knots? And you kind of just like gave a look, they knew that meant give that to you and then you would give them a $100 bill and they would have a fake vaccine card in the to-go bag for you.
Awesome.
It was like a whole it was like a system they had.
That's
and
pretty
people
cool.
were getting fake vaxxed all day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, my wife made them in our basement.
Yeah, it's great. But do you ever think do you think the government cares anymore? You think they're still looking for those people or they can't anymore?
Dude, they didn't give a fuck then. That really was I think that was just like a huge effort from the pharma companies who had people paid in Washington.
Yeah.
Because that was like, they can do a thing where they're like, and again, for some people who wanted it, like, get it, I don't care. Like, fucking 2-year-olds didn't need it. That was the one thing where, like, our pediatrician was like, well, you don't have to do it. I totally respect that. But there's a higher chance that your kid might die. And I was like, okay, man.
No, there's not.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
but
stop it.
That to me was the part that I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Give it to the geezers. If it works for them, cool.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I don't need this. I don't take Tylenol for headaches. So I'm like, I'm not taking that.
Oh, you just power through. You're that guy.
I don't like a lot of like medicines and shit. They freak me out. Like pills, all that stuff.
Interesting. So what if you get really sick? You just ride that fucker out?
If I'm like super duper sick, then I'll kind of yield and take like a little something. But even then, I like to, what I would do if I get like a fever, I'll take a really hot bath and I spike my fever. That way, because then
old school.
The fever is what like is your immune reaction. It's good,
dude. I like that you put leeches on and just suck your blood out. You go old school.
Dude, that
was
a treatment for cancer. They
leeches.
were giving fevers. They were spiking fevers.
Interesting.
And it kills like cancer cells. Like fevers are good for you.
Of course,
but you can't get too high because you can have a seizure.
Yeah.
So if you can keep that thing at like 102, 103, getting a hot bath, I just burn it out.
Dude, you get right to that. That's you edging yourself.
But if it gets
giving
too
yourself
high,
a fever, right to the point of seizure.
But did you ever try to jerk off in a hot bath?
No.
Impossible.
Why?
It's just the hot water fucks with your nuts.
Oh, because you know what it is? Probably because when you get hot water, it's called vasoconstriction is what's going to make your dick go up. Vasodilation,
That's
when they open
what it
up, everything, blood pressure goes down.
That must be
go
what
down.
it is. I can't come in the bathtub. You think it'd be a glorious session, but it's like
you just can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I know. I've actually never. So the way that I jerk off, I don't jerk off kind of like most people like this. I actually lay my dick. I kind of sandwich it between my stomach and my hands.
You're a pressure player.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of just push the base of my dick and top of my balls to just kind of shoot it out. So I can't ever jerk off standing up regardless. I'm always laying down. I kind of make a little pussy for myself.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it is.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice, dude, because I don't know why when I was a little kid, like the first time I ever like jerked it or like, you know, masturbated or felt that, I just was rubbing, I was like basically like rubbing a pillow on my dick and balls. And then I think I just stayed that way.
That's how you do it, yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever went like that.
You never cranked
I've never cranked it, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
I just don't do it. I do it a different way. And I bet you that has implications on me mentally. And like, I'm just like a different guy because of it.
I think you're better off though.
Yeah.
Because there is something gay about like gripping your member and like,
yeah,
you know, you're just fucking.
I'm different and I'm just built. I just, that's the way I roll. And then I shoot into my belly button and you know, it's kind of just like whatever, dude.
Have you ever got caught? Ever got walked in on?
I got walked in on. My mom caught me once. That was bad. I never forget. She was walking in from the local pizzeria and she had brought me like mozzarella sticks and a chicken bacon ranch slice and she had it like on like she used to, dude, until I moved down to my mom's house in my mid 20s and when I was literally like 24 years old, she would bring me food on a New York Yankees like dinner tray. Like she would just give it to, and like it had like this setup where I would just like lay on my bed and it was like a little table and she had that New York Yankees baseball tray with the food on it and I was just rubbing it.
And you're in there just like,
yeah, I was like this. And she literally, she was like, she went like this and she was like, just slammed my door and she was like, your food's outside the door in the hallway. So I had to get it like a fucking inmate, just like, you know, and then, dude, one time she found one of my VHS porn tapes. It was bad. Like we used to pass around a VHS porn tape and she found it. I just left it. So I used to put it in. I had this documentary about the original USA Dream Team. So I would, and I was such a little loser kid. I was like 12 years old and I wrote on the cover of it, I said, I want to go to the NBA. Like a loser, like in Sharpie.
You're good at basketball though, right?
Yeah, Division III. So
that's good.
But yeah, I guess. And so I had put the tape in that Dream Team thing because I was like, my mom never looks in that. And then my mom, for whatever reason, was like cleaning my room one day when I was like at school or it was the weekend, I don't remember. And she popped that fucking tape and thinking she was going to be a documentary on the Dream Team.
You probably saw your like quote was inspired.
His goals. Like, I want to get my son a basketball hoop.
There's a lady like,
oh yeah. And it was just this Colombian lady with a full bush just getting piped, screaming shit in Spanish. And so I got home that day because like it was a big deal. Like, you know, we didn't have cell phones back then. Like we would, when me and my boys were at the park, it was like, we called it the Spanish porn. Yeah. Like who's got the Spanish porn?
We had the Spanish fly. It's called a Spanish fly 14. It's circulated all around.
Yeah, circulate and like somebody would bring it and then it was like a big deal. It's like, okay, you get it for a week, then Frankie gets it and it's like what it is. And so when I came home one day, I was, you know, wasn't even thinking about it. I came home and then it was literally, she had smashed it into like 20 pieces with a hammer and she wrote, my mom loved Post-its and she had a Post-it on it and she wrote, get this filth out of my house. Yeah. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. And then so I had to tell the guys, I was like, my mom smashed that fucking porn. I just brought it back in like a pile.
Just proof.
Yeah, and they were just furious at me. They were like shooting paintballs at me all summer.
Well, my brothers would go to like the adult section at Blockbuster and steal the porn tapes. So it was like a serious effort to get the porn tape. So if you got smashed, it'd be like, bro, what the fuck?
I know. And now
we're risking life and we're risking freedom to fucking get these things.
Boys or girls?
Girls. I have two girls.
Two girls. Okay, I was gonna say, like, I'm actually happy if it had a boy, or like for the boys that are living in Texas. I'm actually happy that the porn is blocked because then they're gonna go find adventurous ways, just like we had, to kind of get porn any way they can. So I kind of actually respect what the governor's doing here to block the porn. He's doing it so the kids can have more fun and be more adventurous. And if you want to get kids creative, which is a big problem we have, block the porn.
I think so.
Big deal, dude.
Kids don't go in the woods anymore.
No, but they will if they're looking for. They have no porn to watch.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
that's where everyone found out. I think it's funny. I think John Mayer did stand up once, and his bit was that every kid finds porn in the woods originally.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Pretty funny.
That was true. That was like, that's where we found porn. We had to go to the woods and you would just find it and be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, porn, you'd find like, people would go have sex in the woods.
Yeah, I'd find a condom.
Sure.
First time I found a condom in the woods, I went home and just beat off.
That's it.
I just saw a used condom and I was like, I gotta jerk off. Dude, it's crazy. Someone fucked here. I was like, I gotta go jerk off.
You gotta jerk off. I know. God, I know the littlest things. And now it's like the thought of using a condom is like, what am I fucking, dude?
Crazy.
To have sex with a condom is like you're having sex with the condom inside the girl. It's like, just go raw, go home. Like, if you're gonna do it, just do it, dude.
Yeah, if you're scared, don't do it.
Yeah, my whole thing is like, you know what, man? Like, you want to go and fucking make a horrible decision and go, cheat on your wife. Don't be a pussy about it.
Yeah.
Go in, come back with another kid, a disease. You, like, really get fucking in there.
Yeah.
Show your kids that you can overcome anything.
And also, if you're gonna go cheat on your wife and wear a condom, it's like, just jerk off, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have condom sex.
It has to be something where it's like,
it's got to be cream pie, a waitress,
fully, dude. Like,
and just sit there for like 8 months and be like,
yeah.
How am I gonna break this to her?
Yeah, like you have to go through the full spectrum of suffering. Yeah, 100%, man.
And then once the kid, I feel like you almost want there to be a kid as a result of the affair. That way, it kind of softens. Because then it's like, what are we gonna do? Don't fucking punish this kid.
It's what it is, and it's also like, here's the thing. I forgot if it was Giannis or Joe DeRosa. Somebody said something to me, was like, you go out, you have unprotected sex with a girl, you do the crime, you do the time. What's going to happen now is you have your sentence is 2 to 25 days. In 2 to 25 days, a disease will pop up or a baby will pop up. Or a girl will pop up being crazy. So you do your sentence, and if you can get through a month, if you can get through a lunar month,
true,
with no issues,
that's what they revolve around.
That's what they say. So you do the crime, you do the time. You're not going to get out of this scot free.
Yeah,
you did the crime. So now it's time to do the time. You got to do the time. And so that's how it would kind of just calm DeRosa down. Like, he was like, all right, I'm doing my time. And then he would text us like, all right, I'm out. I'm free, baby. That's what you got to do, man. Yeah. It's fun being a guy.
It is.
It is. I would not want to, people think, oh, easier being a woman. No, sir.
Dude, it's fucking sucks,
great
man.
being a guy.
I've literally, so me and my wife have Aura rings. They like track your biometrics.
Oh, great.
And I can't stop talking about this because it's like a revelation. So we both went to sleep one night at like 9:30 p.m. Great night of sleep. I woke up. My readiness score is like 89%.
Yeah.
Got me a little crown above it. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Hell yeah.
My wife slept the same time. Her readiness score was 50%.
Whoa.
Because it was the period. Dude, it's like their body temperature's elevated. Like, they're fucked up, man.
So she woke up not in a good mood then. She's not ready.
Terrible mood. It's like, my 50% is if I'm out like drinking all night and I'm hungover.
Right.
She did all the right stuff. Went to bed early, all that stuff.
Ate right.
She could cut back on a couple things, but but no, dude, she like did everything right. It was, and then like woke up in the morning 50%. And I was like, your period fucks you up this much? She's like, yes.
That's what it is.
Their heart rate's elevated and their body, it's like they have a fucking fever.
I was going to say, every month, your wife has to take Tylenol. I'm sure she feels she's got to pop a Tylenol.
They're like crackheads with Tylenol. They take everything.
You have to, because
it's yeah, true.
Imagine every single month you're just sick. Like you
fucked. Yeah, like fuck, dude. And it's like, so that's, and then there's like the time leading up to it. You're cramping. Yeah. And you're just like, fucked, dude. Yeah. Like psychologically gone.
Yeah.
There's like 10 days out of the month. I try to break it down to her. I'm like, 1/3 of the month.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
That's why, like, when you see like what Caitlin Clark can do, you're like, that lady's doing all that on her period most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, she's absolutely crushing everyone.
Yep.
Not feeling at all with a 40% readiness score.
Are you talking about her playing basketball or fighting black ladies?
Both. Yeah. Both. I think. But it's just like, she just puts it on everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like, guys don't have to do that. Like, it's impressive what Steph Curry does, but he's never had to do it bleeding from his dick.
True. I didn't think about that, playing with your period.
Yeah, they all have to.
That would be nice if I was a betting man, I would try to get the inside scoop on who was on their period.
Yeah. Or
that'd
like just
nice.
Playing, some of them playing like not even knowing they're pregnant yet and just dealing with like morning sickness and just fucking cum in them. And they're just killing it.
Do you think that, and the team probably syncs up? So like
100%.
some teams are, I think if you win the championship, everyone syncs to your period.
Dude, so one day, they do. So I believe that. Yeah.
That's what they're playing for.
That's what they're playing for. So I remember once I was on a flight from I think I was going from New York to Indianapolis on like, it was like a shitty fucking, like American Airlines, like small shitty plane. And the New York Liberty got on the plane with me. I guess they were playing maybe the Indiana Fever or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
And all the women got on the plane and they sat in the back of the plane, and the head coach at the time was Bill Lambier. I don't know if you know Bill Lambier. He was like the old coach of the Detroit, he was old player on the Detroit Pistons. Like, and he was just sitting in first class, like laid the fuck out. And the women were like, you could hear like some of the women being like mad in the back, like I'm sitting in the fucking back, coach is up in the front, but he was just laid out, chilling, legs out. And I that got me thinking like he probably has to deal with like these women syncing up on their period. And maybe that was one of those days where he was like, I'm getting the fuck away from these ladies for 2 hours and I'm just sitting in the front of the plane and not dealing with
He's got an eye mask on.
Yeah.
Dude, I would be having them run suicide. So they came with that period energy. I'd be like, on the line.
Get out.
Run it out.
It's so, dude, I mean, now we're both going to have to family. We have daughters. We're all, way outnumbered. It's like, none of my kids are still too young, but when that happens, it's going to get fucking bad.
Oh, it's crazy. I had a maintenance guy come up to like my office apartment, and he's like looking around like, where's your bed? And I was explaining him like, this is what I use it for. He has 2 daughters, and his daughters are like teenagers.
Yeah.
And he goes, bro, like for real, like you might want to stay here. He was like, when the wife and the 2 daughters sync up and they start, he's like, bro, for real, like get out of your house.
It gets bad.
It's like, you're not, just get out of there.
Dude, last week, my daughter's only 9. Like last week, like we were having like a regular day, and I said to her, I was like, okay. I was like, she was like, oh, can I have a snack? And I was like, oh, like mom's gonna cook dinner, so like we'll eat in like an hour, which I've said to her a million times. And she goes, oh, I guess I'm fat then. And then walks up the stairs and slams her door. And her mom was like, she might be on her period. It might be starting. Let me go up there and talk to her. Oh. And then she talked to her, and I don't think it happened because they wouldn't. Yeah. The thing is, like, you could tell me that my daughter's on her period, and it's like, what can I actually do?
Nothing.
So like, if you just tell me to go to the store and get it, like there's no real reason the mother has to tell the father that their daughter's on their period, because it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do for that? Do you want me to go on the road?
Yeah,
then like,
get the fuck out of here.
Just leave.
But you can't talk. You can't be like, hey, how's your period? That's all. That's just.
Yeah, that's mom stuff. But when she said that to me, like, oh, I guess I'm fat now, and then slammed the door, and I was like, holy shit, bro. That was like the first instance where I was like, my little kid daughter, who's like, was like one of my bros, is now like becoming like a young woman, where I'm like, oh shit, like I got to be careful what I say. Yeah. Now I got to be like careful. And she would just kind of she gets on me. She's like, why don't you ever hold mom's hand? And I'm like, oh my, what? The fuck?
That's
So it's gonna happen.
We got in an argument one time, and I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I went outside and sat on my steps. I was like, fuck. And they came outside, like the neighbors were outside. They both came out, and they're like, be nice to mommy, dad. I'm like, will you two shut the fuck up? Get the fuck in here.
Yeah, I know, because
my daughters don't like it. If I'll like grab my wife and like I'll give her like a big kiss, my 4-year-old's like, dad, stop. She does not like it.
Okay.
She's like,
she doesn't like the affection.
She's like, come on, man, knock it off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really weird.
I mean, every kid's different.
Maybe when they get older, a little bit. Come on. That is funny. Like, hold her hand. Like, all right, that's enough out of you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and dude, the drama you're going to see, like, mine's in 4th grade now, the older one, like the girl drama with school. I mean, she's been to 2 different schools, and she's had 2 mortal enemies that sound like the exact same girl in, 20 miles away. I'm like, okay, so it's you. It's my kid. That is the problem. Just fucking causing beef with everyone. But then it's like the girl drama. So it's like, well, like my daughter told me, like, oh, this girl, she's doing this to me. She's doing that to me, blah, 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 blah. And, like, what should I do? And I'm like, well, of course, honey, like, just, obviously tell the teacher and, don't get physical, whatever. And then her mom's advice is like, she hits you, you hit her back.
Yeah.
You slap her, you pull her fucking hair. Do not let that bitch dominate this territory. Kind of. I'm like, these girls are in 4th grade.
Yeah, dude.
But that's how women are. Women are like I took it as there was a problem. I'm like, okay, all good. Like it'll be fine. You work it out in school or whatever. And like already, like my girl had already messaged the school and that kid's mom. Like, we're having a meeting.
Knocking the fuck off.
Like, right. Like women are, and now the 2, now my kid's mom and this girl's mom are like fucking
enemies,
dude. At pickup, it's bad.
Really?
And I'm like, so now it's one of those things where like women are loyal like that. Like, you fuck with me, you fuck with the whole family. Where guys, I'm kind of more like, dude, we could get into a fist fight and I do your podcast tomorrow. I don't care. We'll just get over it. But women, it's like, that's it.
The battlefield's so much more complex. It's for real. We do like caveman warfare. They do like modern warfare of like psyops.
100%.
Like destabilized friend groups. It's really fucked up, dude. And it gets like really dark. Like they'll like throw a party just so they can take pictures of it and put them out and then not invite one person. And the whole thing's just to fuck this one lady.
One girl up. Yeah.
And they can do it. And it's just devastating, man.
Just devastating. I know. I mean, like, I feel like, you know, it's interesting being around so many like women in my life, because I'm just like, man, like you really, if this country elected more women, I think we would actually be a more, I don't think we even understand how vicious America can be, because we haven't had a woman yet.
Dude. Yeah. Have you read, I mean, Hillary Clinton kind of got the job done.
Oh yeah.
She was in there doing some stuff. But yeah, it would be, they're so much more vicious. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's scary. It's terrifying. I think Abraham Lincoln said, like, what was it? Like, I forgot the exact term, but it was like, hell has no, something. He was basically
like a woman scorned or whatever.
Woman scorned is like, no, you know, like that is like basically
like
hell, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, even he knew, and he was gay.
Yeah,
and even he knew.
Yeah, well, that's a problem with women leaders, is you'd have to have like a strong team for that like 10 to 12 day period out of the month where they're completely fucked up.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know why we can't face that as a reality.
Yeah.
It's like, you're powerful as hell. Let's just use that as your incubating period. Like, chill.
Yeah.
Like I just feel bad. Like, why are we acting like this doesn't exist?
Yeah.
It's not a slight on them. It's like, dude, I would be fucked up too.
Of course, dude. Chill. Even the trauma of childbirth, dude. My girl raw dogged 2 childbirths. Just fucking pushed those fuckers out and then got up and walked.
It's crazy.
Like a couple of hours later, she was walking with no pussy. It just fell out. She was just with just an ice pack on it, being like, all right, what are we going to eat? What do you guys want? You want eggs?
Yeah, the childbirth is a gear you see them in that you're just kind of like, what the fuck? It's crazy.
They do have, I think just through nature, they have the highest threshold of pain. I mean, way higher threshold than a man could ever have, because I mean, think about that if that happened to you once in your life, and you had to do that, I mean, you would die. We would all die.
Dude, talking about your butthole getting this big.
That's insane.
That would be fucking crazy.
Even worse if it came out through your penis. That would be sick.
Just a finger through your penis.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when I see when I saw like the 2 childbirths, it was like one of those things where I was like, okay, they're more powerful, they're stronger. I know physically they're not, but like mentally is the thing. And it's like, I can't even compete at all. I cannot compete. When my girl starts asking me questions, I'm fucked. I tell the truth. I'm a truth teller. I'm like right away.
You can't lie. Yeah, you can't lie.
I used to try to lie, and then the anxiety and pain I would sit with. Yeah. Where I was like, might as well just tell the truth now, because she actually already knows.
Yeah, and they're gonna figure it out. You can't lie. If you think you can't, like women, they could get away with it so easy, but like if you try to lie to a woman, it's like they're going to find out.
Yeah,
they can just look at you and be like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah,
they can tell.
You piece of shit.
And they're good. Like, dude, they'll like. I didn't realize like even on Instagram, like they'll kind of look at who's liking what of your things, looking at their profile.
I don't even know how to do that on her. Like, I have no idea how to even access that information on Instagram. And that's a good point. She'll know like followers who like something from weeks and weeks ago, and then has their whole profile locked and loaded. Yeah, dude. And it's like, oh, did Stephanie go to your show? Yeah, I'm like, what? Who is that? They're like, oh, well, she has an interest in Austin, Texas. I've seen from her interests on, on her LinkedIn that I've tracked. So hypothetically, it makes sense if she came to your show. Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know who she's talking about.
you see the person like, damn, she's smoking.
Yeah, fuck, dude. This girl's awesome. I saw her pussy in the gym.
Thank you for bringing her to my attention.
I know. Well, that's the other problem. It's like that's how they go overboard. It's like you'll bring up all these girls that I genuinely have no idea who they're talking about, and then she'll be like, how about, was this girl at your show? And then she'll send a screenshot. I'm like, no, but then I'll have fucking Steve be like, can you DM this one and give her tickets?
Jerk off this picture.
Yeah, Steve, here you go, dude. Yeah, I mean, I just
it is complicated. It's the most complicated time. And like, dude, in our dad's time, it was like there might have been like 2 hot ladies you knew of.
That's it.
And you'd be like, damn, that lady's fucking hot.
Well, we also have access to every woman on the planet. I mean, don't forget 100, 200 years ago, you only knew the people in your village. Yeah. So if you had, hopefully you got the smoke show in your village. If you didn't, you settled for like the one, like, that kind of looked like her, but she had like a limp.
For real, imagine if there's no babes from like birth to death.
That's a reality people lived in.
You never saw a babe.
0 babes, unless you had babes in your village.
Dude, a babe in a village was probably crazy.
Do you know I read a thing, I forgot, it wasn't in a book. It was like an article where sex, like how we've kind of like made sex like a sacred taboo thing. Mm-hmm. Like in the medieval times, like sex was because it was so animalistic. Like you would just watch your parents have sex and think of it as like, you know, your dad's doing push-ups or something. Like it was just a thing that mom and dad did. They had sex, full bushes, and then you would have sex. You would have sex like in front of your wife's family. Like it wasn't a thing that was taboo at all. I mean, to consummate kings and queens marriages, they would have sex in the bed, and the wedding party would stand around the bed and just watch this girl get fucked.
That's awesome.
Dude, and there's so many fascinating things in history. I read this thing, there's this book called Fucking History. This guy wrote it, he calls himself the Captain. He's a great author. Kyle Creek is his real name, but he's Kyle the Captain Creek. Dude, he wrote this book, Fucking History. It's like 1-page things where he talks about like something from history, but then kind of gives like a modern spin on it. It's fascinating. I would read a page a day. I love this guy. And so I read this book about read one of these pages about France, like 1600, maybe 1500s. France had this thing called, you know, obviously you can't divorce. Divorce was like unheard of. Guys would just kill their wives. So, but this one town in France, they have like, they're like, you know what? Let's do divorce court. They're like, if this lady, you really want a divorce, lady? Okay. So they would say the only way we'll ever grant you a divorce is if your husband can't procreate. If he can't get it up and he can't fuck you, basically, then you're good. Yeah. So what they would do is you would file for divorce, and then you would have to go to divorce court. And at divorce court, you would come out, you and your husband would come out, and there'd be a row of judges and like noble elites, and you'd have to basically bang your wife. And if you couldn't come in an allotted time, they'd grant her a divorce. That's what it was.
Imagine if you jerked off that morning and you're just like,
fuck, I didn't know it was today. Yeah. Or you're just, damn. Yeah. And then you're just going to get divorced. But here's but the caveat was you could divorce your wife, but then like once she was like not your property anymore, you could just kill her with no repercussions.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. You could just murder her like out in the field.
Could you fake a cream pie though in court? Be like,
no, they'd
have to be like, let's see.
No, they 100%. They had people would check to see if that shit's dripping out, and you could be like, no, I swear I did. She's got a deep pussy.
So
yeah, I let it fly, dude. Come back in 9 months, I promise. Yeah, I know all that bush to get through.
Oh, dude, it's like a stern judge just scowling at you. Like,
just with his wig on, just looking.
You're trying to fuck your mean wife.
Yeah,
who wants to leave you?
Yeah. So it's like it's crazy how. You know, the world used to be, man.
Yeah, that's out of fucking control.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to make it sacred because it's just so important, though, because then having sex leads to creating life. And if life's created willy-nilly, then, like, no one's taking care of the kids. It just becomes, like, a fucked up situation.
And at that point, it's like, dude, you need to have kids because I need people on the farm. I need people in the army. We're trying to take over Holland and whatever other country, dude. You know? Yeah. We got to do shit. So, like, we need you to start pumping out those babies. And I kind of get how, like, back in the day, if, you know, a woman couldn't, you know, produce a baby, they're like, well, she's a witch. Let's burn her. Like, get her out of here. We don't want any of this. We don't want the other women.
Yeah, they were a huge drain on the economy.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Because you didn't work. So it's like, if you couldn't produce a kid, there were people would be like, Jesus
Did you ever read that thing about the Salem witch trials where, like, scientists have went back and think that it was because of a weed that was growing?
Yes,
you ever see that?
Like
nuts.
Ergot. It's like ergot. It was like a mold. I think ergot's what we make LSD from, but it's like a mold that was in there and it fucked the whole town up.
The whole town, it fucked the witches up.
I get scared about that. I think about that. I'm like, dude, that could happen. That would be terrifying.
Because why couldn't that happen today? I mean, and you just wouldn't know about it.
Yeah,
like, you know, like
a little.
Dude, we
probably start tripping every now and again off like food supply stuff.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, have you ever like, you know, like I got really into like intermittent fasting, which I got to start. Yeah, I kind of lean back off now because I posted a video of me the other day trying to promote my shows in Texas, and all you fuckers told me I had small calves, and I looked and it kept telling me that I skipped leg day and I'm too skinny. I have a big head. Fuck you, dude. It's like you're damned if you do damned. I'm trying to get healthy here, and like you're still shitting on me.
I bulked. I like started lifting and eating a lot, and then someone hit me with a comment like when the bulk becomes a Hulk, and I was for real. Like I got like a real pot belly. Like I got fat.
Still right now, but could you look?
It's gone.
Leaner now.
I did a 2-day fast. I got rid of it. I got crushed. I was like bulking, and then I was like, oh damn it, I'm fat. So I had to like bulk it. I got up to like 196, and that's what
are you now?
For me, I'm like 186 now.
Oh, 10 pounds makes a difference.
Yeah, big difference.
Dude, you got the back. That's what it's.
Sure,
do you do a lot of back?
Yeah, I do a lot of lifting, a lot of back, all that stuff.
So you lift heavy when you lift?
Not too crazy. I don't lift heavy, but I just kind of like focus on like the exact muscle group. So I don't want to like hurt myself.
Right.
But it's all time under tension. The weight doesn't matter that much.
We were talking about that yesterday. You rather have Joe DeRosa we were in his apartment yesterday, and he goes, yeah, I don't go to the gym. I just work out here. I was like, okay, what do you do? He goes, 3 times a week, I do 40 push-ups, 40 curls, and 40 squats. I was like, like sets of 40. He goes, no, I just do 4. I do 4 sets of 10. I was like, are you an old lady? Like what?
He's working out from a guy from like 1942.
He told me, he goes, I have no desire to have an A+ body. I'm happy with a C- body.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be a D or an F.
So that's what he does. Like,
that's what he does. But we were telling him, like, dude, you only have 20-pound dumbbells. I was like, if you just change that to forget about the number and you just did 1 minute like slow curls, time under tension, you'd be a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't want to do it.
Yes, yeah.
I'm like, if you took you take 45 minutes to do this bullshit, but if you took 15 minutes and just did the time under tension, you'd have a better workout in less time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know people who do that. The same thing. They always have those weights with like filled with sand.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? No, but that's yesterday we went to the gym and I was just doing like 6 seconds down, hold it for 2, and then explode up. And I was doing that. Fucking sick.
That's all you need to do. Yeah, you don't need. I don't need to do heavy weight because I end up hurting myself.
No, time under tension. That's the move.
Yep.
What the hell was it? What we were talking about something before that though. I was getting to something.
The witch trial and them hitting like eating the bread that fucked them all
Eating
up.
the bread that fucked them up. But then there was something else. Damn it. And then we started talking about the gym.
Fucking in front of the judge.
Fucking in front of the judge. But there was something I think we were going to talk about with the witch trials that I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember. But you were saying we could kill women. If a woman divorces you, can kill her.
Right, kill her.
Witch trials. We just got in again. The pump. We got too enthusiastic.
Dude, I know. Dude, did you work out yet today?
No. I took 2 days off. So I had a stomach virus and then like it just crushed my appetite, obviously. And then the day after I didn't eat for 2 straight days.
0. Were you puking or shitting?
I didn't puke or shit, but it felt like I had to puke.
Oh, okay.
So it was like I held it in. I hate throwing up, dude.
Me too.
I will not. I'll go like so. I just laid there like supremely nauseous,
right?
Like a day. Then fasted the whole next day. So I did like a 48-hour fast, and then like, but you're supposed to like break it in softly. I just fucking like pigged on like fucking like potatoes and shit.
I know.
With like queso. I shouldn't have done it. And then my stomach was fucked up from that for like 2 days.
Of course.
Dude, so I lost like 10 fucking pounds.
You haven't eaten in like a week, really.
I haven't had a lot of food in like about a week. But now
you're gonna fuck shit up today though.
Today I'm gonna fuck shit up. Actually, no, I have to do several podcasts today. But tomorrow, dude. Actually I gotta fly tomorrow, dude. Thursday afternoon, I'm gonna absolutely fuck shit up.
Where are you going this weekend?
Celebrity. Oh, no, yeah, I'm going to Hilarities, Cleveland.
I love Hilarities. You've been there before, right?
No,
it's
first time.
Oh, this is your first time on the road going through everything, pretty much. Like headlining on your own.
Pretty much. This is the first. I started like last year.
Yeah.
Because I did a whole stretch of shows and then I did that one special. So this is like, there's still a lot of clubs that are new to me. So yeah. So
Hilarities is awesome, dude.
I heard it's really good.
Dude, you talk about eating. You want some of the best comedy club food in the country, dude. Brick oven pizzas. They bring out the owner's great. There's Sam, Nick. The food that they bring out is old school Greek guy.
Oh, that's cool.
They fucking bring out whatever you want, dude. It's amazing. And it's got like the beautiful comedy club. It's like, balcony. And then they got like a cabaret room in the back. That's one of those clubs, like whatever you want, they'll look it up.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited.
They're good people. And then you stay at the hotel you stay at. You're probably staying at the hotel that the comedy club gives you.
I think so.
Dude, it's like an indoor. It's like the first indoor arcade, like what they used to call like a mall. I think in America. Oh. So like it's one of those hotels where like you open up like your door, but you're like inside, like on this elevated, like you can like look down in like an indoor courtyard. It's a sick hotel.
That's awesome.
But it's crazy when you go to Cleveland, you'll see like the block where the comedy club is and where your hotel is there's 3 blocks. I think it's called East 4th Street. That is all of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then everywhere else is like, there's nothing happening at all. It's just crack everywhere. Yeah. But that block where you are, that's all you got to, that's all like you got to do.
Indianapolis. I was in Indianapolis. I stayed across the street from the Pacers Arena.
Yep.
Fever Arena as well.
Yeah.
And then it was just that little square. And the rest of it, I was like, man.
Indianapolis is one, like, I love any American city, but that's one of those ones where I'm like, you know what, guys, like, I don't know, dude, I've been here a couple of times. Every time it kind of just feels worse and worse for me. And I don't know, man. Like if it comes up on the schedule, I'm like, I'll do it, but it's got to be quick. Yeah. It's got to be quick.
Yeah.
You got to just get me in there. Get me in. If the show's at 7, get me on a 6 p.m. flight. We'll land. We'll do it. We'll get out. I got to do it like a fucking bombing run.
Yeah, it is. It does have a kind of a depressing vibe.
Yeah.
Especially if you're used to like a booming metropolitan area, like just the food options and stuff. That's kind of, I don't want to snob on people's town, but it's like,
no, yeah.
I will because I am a snob about that kind of stuff. But you get there and you're like, dude, this is your Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, someone opened one fucking restaurant.
Dude, Steve Ciccone Rice-Roni last night, Uber Eats something. What was the place called? Jew Burger?
Oh, yeah.
Jew Boy
Burgers, yeah.
And then Jew Boy Burgers, they dropped the burgers off in the wrong elevator shaft, so this kid had to get fucking Wendy's.
What?
Where did that Jew boy leave the burgers?
The Jews fucked you on your burgers?
Yeah. Dude, they were like, they thought you were Palestinian.
The Jews control the burgers in Austin. You can say that for sure.
So you've had Jew Boy Burger?
I haven't had it yet.
But you've heard of it?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the whole stuff to settle down in the Middle East. I've heard of it. I haven't had it yet.
Dude, but that's what a crazy. I guess the owner's Jewish. I mean, that'd be funny if it's a Palestinian guy that owns it.
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be a Jew boy.
Jew Boy Burgers. Yeah, it's interesting.
I've heard they're good. Unless they're hitting you with that kosher shit. Because like, you can't have cheese, right?
Yeah, I think you can.
I went to a kosher burger place one time. I didn't know what kosher was. And I was like, yeah, fire me up a burger. He's like, yeah, we can't do cheese. And I was kind of like,
yeah,
bro, this is what people are talking about.
Dude, I know. Dude, well, like a lot of like growing up in New York and like Brooklyn area, it's like, you know, we have the Hasidic Jewish population. Like most people like don't even know like what that, like, dude, there's a wild population. Like they're their own kind of group. They don't let anybody in or out. They're kind of like the Amish, but like just Jewish people like running around. Like there's parts of Brooklyn, like huge parts of Brooklyn that like none of us, if you're not Hasidic Jew, you've never seen it and you can't go in. It's like kind of wild. Like you didn't grow up around any Hasidic Jews in Philly.
No way.
No, we got them everywhere, dude.
Yeah, we didn't really have. I grew up in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and I for real didn't know Jewish people existed until I was in college.
Yeah,
like I didn't. People were like, "Oh, the Jews," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
like Jewish people, and I'm like,
What?
What are you saying?
What does that mean?
I thought they were just in the Bible. I didn't know. And then like when I saw, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, like the kind of subtle racism that like the old school people would have. Like I remember Grandpa, like I remember like we would like always like go like on the BQE Brooklyn Queens Expressway. We would always like go like this one route where he would like take side streets and then get on the highway and get off. And I remember one time I asked him, I was like, why don't we just like stay on the highway? He's like, I was like, why do we get off those side streets? And he was like, oh, because if I stayed on the highway, then it makes you get off and then you got to go through the Hasidic Jewish neighborhood and we don't want to do that. So I was just like, what? Okay. And it was like, just
didn't want to see it.
He was like, yeah, I'm not driving through that. That's their neighborhood. And I'm like, do you not?
Yeah.
Like I kind of almost felt like, like, do you hate them? Are you scared of them? Like, what is it? But it is.
People just didn't fuck with each other. When they first came here, it was very much like, that's your people, these are my people.
Well, that's how they live. And with the Hasidic Jewish population, it's not that we're racist again. They don't want us involved. So they hate us. Like, they do not want you even around them.
Well, it kind of crushes their vibe.
Right.
Because if you're like, if you're not wearing the clothes, I would feel kind of dumb. I'd be like,
I know, dude. Yeah. Well, they look the way they dress is how they dressed 100 years ago. It's like the same. That's kind of dope. Like you could just drop in, like, 200 years from now, we're going to look like fucking idiots.
Yeah, true.
But like, it'd be cool if like we dropped in 200 years later and we kind of have the same shit going on.
Yeah, froze like jeans and a t-shirt. Just be like, this is what we're doing, guys.
This is what it is, dude.
From now on.
Yeah. I'm still just sitting here balling out to fucking Daryl and Oates.
Well, dude, I don't want to hold you up, man. Thank you.
Oh, it's 10:45 already?
10:43, yeah.
How long did we do?
An hour 22.
Look at that.
We're ripping,
I'm
bro.
looking, the hair, dude, the hair looks clean,
It looks
dude.
great, man.
Dude, but people, your fans are going to shit on me.
They're not
for
going to
this
shit
mop.
on you.
Dude, I'll fucking fist fight any one of these fans talk shit about my hair. Come to any of my shows, check my schedule, ChristyComedy.com, and fucking say it to my face and fight me at the meet and greet.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Thanks for doing this, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You're the man.
I appreciate it, man.
Bro.
Thank you.